Hi, the purpose of this video is to show you how to update the expected units per hour when you're making a schedule. Now after that one is done, we are going to show you how to make the appropriate shift changes. Now why do we need to update the expected units per hour? Why is because if we keep using the same expected units month after month, sales patterns will change such that certain hours we will now be overstaffed and certain hours will be understaffed. Let me show you an example. So what you're seeing now is a scheduling graph for the 3 East London stores as of 2017. Dundas here, Home Depot here, Florence over here. So let's zoom in to one day part of one store. So currently this is a Friday, so if you look at the bottom, I'm on the Friday tab. Let's say that we have this printed off and we're looking between 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. because the 8 is going to represent between 7 and 8. The 4 is going to represent between 3 and 4. So we've got 4 people scheduled here. We got Michael in charge, and he is supervising Jim, Dwight, and Pam. Right. So let's assume that a month has passed or 2 months has passed, and the sales have changed. So if we don't update the units, the expected units, we're going to just assume that this is staffed properly, because 2 months ago this was staffed properly. But now let's put in some updated units. I'm going to get to how we calculate these updated units in a minute here, but I'm just going to put in some new numbers. Now what does this do to us? Well, first of all, if this is the regular pattern, we are going to be understaffed from 3 to 4. They'll be understaffed from basically 3 to 5. They'll be okay between 5 and 7, and then they'll be overstaffed by 1 between 7 and 8 p.m. So when they're understaffed, this is going to cause a problem because, first of all, it's going to give a bad experience to the customers. We're going to make some mistakes. Maybe we might run short of bread. Maybe at the end of dinner here we might be running short of bread. Second thing that happens if you're understaffed is people will tend to panic, and then we'll end up calling people in later on. By the time they arrive, all the customers are gone. And when you overstaff, of course, it's just a straight waste of labor. So now you have 2 people working when you really only need 1 person. And this is typically what happens when you're overstaffed or understaffed. Both situations will cost more money. Once we update the units, and I'm going to talk about this stage later on, is we change the schedule a little bit. So maybe we have Dwight now, instead of working from 4 to 7, now he's going to be working, actually he's still going to be working 4 to 7. So although he's still working 4 to 7, he's just going to be put in here. Oops. Right, so Pam, her shift was 5 to 8, but she would change her shift, in this case to, because we have a shortage between 3 and 5, Pam's now going to come in at 3, and now she's going to leave at 7, or she could leave at 7:15 or something, but let's just say it was 7, so it matches what the needs are here. And we're looking just from the period from 3 to 8 here, so from 3 to 8, so basically it's this period here, we can see that we're covered exactly what the staff needs are again. Okay, so no wasted money in this adjusted scenario. So how do we update the expected units? Well, first of all, we're going to open up our schedule. And the format that I have open here is the current one that is being used in East London, which has each store having its own separate file. So in this example, I'm going to use the Florence location. It's opened up on this schedule tab at the bottom. Okay, if we go to the right, we see EXP unit calc. It's right here. Click on that. This is going to contain all of the current units. So this top section here from rows 3, well basically row 1 to row 29. This is where we're going to update. So in this section we have 4 weeks of data, 4 Wednesday to Tuesday weeks. And I guess the default method of doing this is to put in the most recent trailing 4 weeks. So for example, if today is July 31st, we would put in the first 4 weeks of July that have been trailing. So you go basically July 1st to whatever, 1st to the 28th, I guess, in that example. So where do we find this data that we need to update it with? Well, it's going to be in a folder called Sales Performance Files on Dropbox. I'm going to show you where to access this right here. So correction on that, I should add that the name of the folder is Sales Performance Files, and then in brackets MRH, which is short for Morris Hicks. This would just be an entire folder that would be shared to you, assuming you have a Dropbox account open. If you don't have a Dropbox account open, then you have to create one. I could show you how to do that. You just call me. But anyways, this would be a shared file. So let's assume that you have that shared file open, and we're working here on the Florence store. So right here, they're all basically named the same, with the store number is the only thing that's different on the front of the file. So you open that one up. I'm working on a Mac here. It does take a few seconds to open up because it is a very large file. If you get a pop-up window here with this asking about whether you want to enable macros, you can just say disable macros. There's nothing bad about these. These are created by our family, so there's nothing malicious, but just you can disable or you can enable. It doesn't matter. In this case, I'm just going to click on disable macros. If it gives you this window about edit links or ignoring links, you can say ignore links. Okay, and here's the file. So it's going to open on whatever tab was most recently saved at. The current one right here is charts, so you can ignore that for now. I'm working on a Mac right now, so on the Mac, or I guess it's Microsoft Office for Mac, but it should be very similar controls, if not identical, on a Windows computer. So you want to click over to the far left of all of the tabs, because there's quite a few tabs. You want to go to the units. For this example, we're going to use that, assuming that it's August 1st, 2016 example again. So we're going to look for the trailing 4 weeks behind whatever date it is. Okay, so there's going to be a couple things we're going to have to do. Okay, so just in the interest of time, so let's assume that it's August 3rd, 2016, which is this date here. So Wednesday, August 3rd, 2016. So we're going to look at the trailing 4 weeks. Got 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and 4 weeks. So we're going to scroll down and highlight all this. So basically what I was doing here is I was clicking. See the cell up here? I'll just do it again. I click there, just in case you're not sure how to do this. I mean, most of you may want to do this, but if you don't know how to do this already, so basically I'm just holding down the shift button and then pressing and holding down the down arrow button. And now I'm going to do the right arrow button while still holding the shift button. That's 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Now I'm copying this. There is a shortcut on the Windows format. I forget what it is, but I think it's Control C. My Mac, it's Command C. You can also just go to Edit and then hit Copy. But I'm just going to do the shortcut here, Command C. And when it copies or cuts, it'll have this little bit of movement along the line of the outline of what you just did, what you just copied. And then you can paste this to the following. So I'm back to my Florence master schedule. I'm going to open this up. So this is the tab we want to be at. It might open up at the schedule, which is on this tab. Again, you go to expected unit calc tab, and then we are going to paste here. So we can go edit and then paste. Shortcut is Command V or Control V on a Windows computer. So when I did that, it changed the format, so I'm going to undo that, which is Command Z. So instead of pasting, I'm going to click on Paste Special, and then I'm going to click on Values. So it's going to just put in the values, it's not going to change the format. And then I'm going to click OK. And that's what we want. So you can see here, I know it's quite small here, but it goes from 2016, the 7th month is July, 6th day, 6th, 7th, 8th, basically 4 consecutive weeks, ending, we said August 3rd. So the day before August 3rd is August 2nd. Now if we have a holiday in this period, or some day that is exceptional, so say for example, let's assume that this Monday was a holiday, and I realize that it's not July 1st, but let's just pretend that July 1st was on this day. So say that it completely distorted the sales on that day. So what we want to do is we want to take the Monday that was just previous to this Wednesday. So that's Wednesday, July 6th. You want to take the Monday, July 4th from that sales performance file. You'd want to copy that, and then you want to paste it into here. So let's do that right now.